As reported in September of 2014, people's minds are just sick, I guess, a neighbor said. The Florida man who police say gunned down his daughter and 6 grandchildren on a Thursday had been in prison for fatally shooting his young son during a hunting trip 13 years ago, according to court records. Don Charles Spirit, 51, phoned the Gilchrist County Sheriff's Department around 4 p.m. Thursday and indicated that he might harm himself and others. When he called 911, he said enough to alarm us to send someone to his house. We needed to get there in a hurry, said Sheriff Robert Schultz, but the father and grandfather shot himself as officers approached his home. Deputies then discovered the bodies of Spirit's daughter and her 6 children in a small rural house near Bell, about 38 miles northwest Gainesville in north central Florida. Sheriff Schultz identified the victims as Sarah Lorraine Spirit, 28, Caleb Coleman, 11, Kyle Coleman, 9, Jonathan Coleman, 8, Destiny Stewart, 5, Brandon Stewart, 4, and Alana Stewart, who was born in June. Them were some nice kids. They'd laugh and cut up, going down the road, going to school and coming back. Neighbor Betty Dyer told Yahoo News people's minds are just sick, I guess. Sheriff Schultz said investigators had found no immediate motive for the massacre. He said that officers had answered calls at this home before, but nothing to this extent. On Friday, a Facebook account of Christine Jeffers, Sarah's mother, largely consists of pictures and videos of her grandchildren at the beach, celebrating birthdays, hula hooping in the backyard. Jeffers said her husband spent most of his summers attending Caleb's baseball games. On Friday, Jeffers' friends set up an online account to help her with the funeral expenses. She did thank everyone for their support. Don Spirit was released from prison back in February of 2006 after serving 3 years related to the shooting death of his son, Kyle. He had pled guilty to a charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon 2 years after Kyle, 8, was killed during a hunting outing. Spirit said he was walking through the woods in November 2001, and Kyle and another son, 11-year-old Josh, when he pointed out a rust spot on the muzzle of the rifle and it accidentally fired, striking Kyle in the head. Spirit was convicted of felony marijuana possession in '98, losing his right to own a firearm, and he never applied to have one restored or the right to have one. This is the sad story of Mr.